Alright, now I've left up what we did in the last video so that we can kind of look back at it as we go. We're going to now take what we did in the last video of multiplying these binomials together, and we're going to try and go backwards. We're going to be given this polynomial, and we're going to try and break it down into the binomial factors. That's what these are called. Okay, now if you'll remember, our first term here always came from multiplying the first terms in the binomials. So what we need to do is we need to ask ourselves, what times what would give us x squared? This is the easy part here. So we're going to say x times x would give us the x squared. Now, if you'll remember, our last term always came from multiplying the last items in the binomial. So we have to think of what times what would give us a 6. Well, I'm going to do just a little thing out to the side here. I'm going to take the 6 and I'm going to say, okay, 6 could be 1 times 6, or it could be 2 times 3. Now, you have to take this into consideration, because not only are you going to be multiplying these last two items together to get the last term, but when you multiply the inner and the outer terms, that's what's going to combine to give you the middle term in the polynomial. So we're looking at things that will multiply together to give us a 6, but will also combine to give us a 5. Now, here's something else to consider. Remember that the last term, when we did these, if our last term was positive, it was because we were multiplying same sign. If our last term was negative, like it is in this one here, it's because our signs were opposite in sign. So this last sign is going to tell us whether our signs are the same or different. That's what this is here. It says the last sign in the trinomial tells you whether the signs are the same or different. So this says that our signs have to be the same. Well, the only way that we can combine two things together and get a positive 5, if they are the same sign, is if they are both positive. So now when I combine something x times something x and get a positive 5, I have no choice but for that to be a 2 and a 3. So this has to be x plus 2 and x plus 3. Now, we can check this pretty easily. We know that our first term, when we multiply x times x, it will give us the x squared. We also know that positive 2 times a positive 3 is a positive 6. The only thing we really have to be concerned with checking is this middle term. And it comes from multiplying the inner and the outer terms and combining them. So 2 times x would be 2x, and x times 3 would be 3x. When we combine those, we do get a positive 5x. Okay, so the last sign in the trinomial here tells you whether the signs are the same or different. The middle sign is going to give you clues to help you get your signs correct and also know whether you're adding or subtracting.